Hello students, today I am going to explain the chapter The Constitution of India from SST. The Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India is the highest law in India. It lays down the powers and duties of government institutions. It also provides for fundamental rights and duties of the citizens. The Constitution was drafted by the Constituent Assembly, which consisted of 389 members. It took almost 3 years to draft the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly was a truly representative body, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. So the Indian Constitution is the longest written constitution in the world. The Indian Constitution came into effect on 26th January 1950, and we call this day the Republic Day. Every year on 26th January we celebrate Republic Day. We celebrate this day every year as the Republic Day in our country. The Constitution is important in our history because when the Constitution came into effect, India became a sovereign and a democratic republic. Then the preamble. What is the preamble? The Constitution of India starts with a preamble. It goes as follows. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Let us understand the preamble. What does sovereign mean? Sovereign means that the country is not under the control of any foreign power. Socialist means that everyone has equal opportunities and in which the wealth of the nation is used for the welfare of the society as a whole. Secular means India does not have a state religion. Every person of any faith is free to practice his or her religion in the country. It is a democratic republic. India is a democratic country. It is not ruled by a monarch but an elected head of state whom the people elect. In India, the president is indirectly elected for a period of 5 years. Here, the people have the liberty to choose their own leaders. That's why it is called a democratic republic. Justice means that all people are treated fairly. Liberty means that people have the freedom on all activities. What they think, how they express themselves, and what they believe, which religion they wish to practice, and so on. However, freedom has to be practiced without harming others. Equality, as it says, means that we all are equal before the law. No individual or section of the society enjoys special privileges or opportunities. Fraternity means that everyone lives with feeling of friendship and trust. There is a sense of belonging with the country. Now, what are the directive principles? The Constitution of India has laid down certain guidelines for the governing bodies on the basis of which they can frame laws and policies. These guidelines are called directive principles. Some of the directive principles are as follows. To provide an equal right to all citizens to work and to earn their livelihood, to provide work for all, to provide free and compulsory education to all children up to 14 years of age, to provide equal wages for equal work, to protect the environment, and to protect and preserve monuments, places, and things of historical importance. Now let us learn about the fundamental rights. When we live in a society, we must learn to live peacefully. We must respect each other. If each person does what he or she thinks is right, there would be chaos in the country. Therefore, the society has laid down certain rules which we have to follow. These rules are necessary to live peacefully. They tell us what is right and what is wrong. When the society accepts these rights as essential, they become basis of rights. We must remember that what is right for one is equally right for the other person. Therefore, when we exercise our rights, we must be careful that we do not violate any other person's rights. The Indian Constitution has put down certain rights for all its citizens. These are known as fundamental rights because they are considered as basic rights of the people to live in a society, because everybody must follow these. Right to equality. This means that every person is considered equal in the eyes of law. There can be no discrimination based on caste, creed or religion. Right to freedom. In a democratic country like India, the right to freedom of speech and expression is very important. This freedom allows its citizens to practice any profession, participate in any political movement and to move around freely in the country. Right against exploitation. The Constitution has declared that no one can force anyone to work for less or without payment. Employing children and buying and selling human beings are also illegal. This fundamental right makes it illegal for someone who does these activities. Right to freedom of religion. The Constitution declares India to be a secular state. It means that it has the right and freedom to practice any religion of his or her choice. Then cultural and educational rights. The right to education is an important right given to all Indian citizens. The Constitution has provided for minorities to establish and maintain their own educational institutions. Government schools are responsible for providing free and compulsory education to all children up to the age of 14 years. And the last right is the right to constitutional remedies. If any citizen feels that his or her constitutional rights are being violated, he or she can seek justice from the courts. This right ensures that the citizens' fundamental rights are